Hello YouTube, this is the video for November 10th, for Sunday, November 10th, which is part of my 30 videos in 30 days project for the month of November for Transgender Awareness Month. So, it's also the Marine Corps birthday, so, you know, happy birthday to the Marine Corps. And, yeah. The 30 Days Trans Challenge questions come from a user on DeviantArt called The Miserable Muse, and it was pointed at them by Paige Abendroth, who has shown up on my Brin Live videos and is a mod at bigender.net, and has her own channel here, and is popular on the Tumblr that the kids are on these days. All under Paige Abendroth. Okay, so, question number 10 is, what are some of your fears in regards to being trans? Well, let's see. There's this basic kinds of fears where, like, I'm afraid of, being harassed or hurt or killed, because somebody clocks me as trans, and they are trans/homophobic, and decide that the perfect cure for somebody not being cishet is to kill them. So that's a fear. Mitigated by the fact that I live in a very safe place, generally speaking, and I'm white, which the most unfortunate statistic about being transgender, or about the transgender population, is that the greatest risk is carried by the by transgender women and by transgender women of color, who also tend to be, already affected and impacted by, other more serious. There's nothing more serious than being killed, right? But they're also impacted by other socioeconomic factors as well, generally speaking. So, as if it weren't bad enough, they're the ones most at risk for getting killed for being trans, which, is could not be shittier, right? Wow, I am doing such a bad job at this. I sound like such a white privileged bitch. Like, I can't even... I do what I can to spread awareness so that hopefully other people will find out how, normal it is to be transgender and human, and maybe some transphobe will have their mind flipped and they won't go after the next trans woman they see to kill. Because, whatever, lofty goal for some putz on a YouTube video, but, wow, I'm imploding on camera, that's great. Other fears. My biggest personal fear is that my kids will be impacted. I have two daughters, 10 and 12, and or almost 12. And they're in 4th and 6th grade, which are not, the most, I don't know, like, kids at that age don't always have the most broad understanding of humanity and the natural variations therein, and that it is not a terrible thing that their dad is trans, and I'm kind of afraid of it getting around the school, and that's part of what always factors into my calculus when it comes to whether or not to transition full-time or live full-time. The biggest impact is on my kids, and what will they have to deal with from other students, from, what kind of crap is going to get spewed around by other parents. And I don't want them to have to deal with that. There's other factors, like, if work finds out, is that going to have a detrimental effect on my employment? And as the primary breadwinner, as someone who, pays most of the bills, it would be a pretty serious impact if I were to lose my job, you know? So that's a fear. Let's see. You know, and so that's really it. It really just sort of comes down to my kids and my family and my, you know, home. But, you know, those are all fears that a lot of trans people have to deal with. And I mean, my company ostensibly has very trans-inclusive discrimination policy, so, you know, that's less of a risk. And part of the reason I took the job was because of their trans-inclusive policy. Insofar as they even mandate their insurance covers transgender health. So, you know, that's cool. So that if surgery was something I wanted later down the road, then it might be, you know, a much more financially feasible option. Yeah, so that's it. That's where all the fears really center, is on my kids and my home. I'm out to just about everybody else. You know, my biggest fear was coming out to my wife. And, you know, I was afraid that it would be the end of our marriage if I were ever really truly honest with myself and with her about who I am. I was right. It was something that our marriage couldn't handle. And, you know, there were other issues, but that was sort of a big one. But, you know, I survived that, and there's something extraordinarily liberating about having your greatest fear come to pass and surviving. Like, there's just this huge sense of, I don't know, freedom and opportunity, and just this idea that I can survive, like I can get past this, and this whole new future is open to me, where I can explore what it means to be authentic to myself, you know, and that's pretty cool. You have to go through some really painful shit to get there, but, you know, the survival happens. Like, you are there, and you live, and you learn how to live again. My family's been really awesome. I talked about that in one of my other videos. You know, there's some... I think we have some sort of, like, little détente when it comes to my gender stuff. You know, people don't understand quite exactly, but, you know, they let me be me, and I try to not push their boundaries too much, you know, so we've got this sort of balance thing. My kids are awesome. Like, I can't even talk about how amazing they are, because it just defies words, but, and, you know, I have a girlfriend who loves me and thinks her girlfriend's awesome, and, you know, I can't let the fear get to me, because otherwise I would miss out on all this other awesome stuff that's going on in my life, you know? So I just put the fear on the back burner and acknowledge that it's there, because that's important, is, you know, recognizing that you're having these fears and these feelings, and just, you know, letting them be what they are, and living your life aside from that. Like, just, you know, being me, and you know, I try really hard to do that. Okay, so I'm at 9 minutes now. I've got 4 videos, and I started at like 5, now 8, and then 9. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up. So leave me messages through YouTube, or leave me comments below. And you have to have a Google Plus account now for some reason. And let's see, bygender.net at the forums, which is bygender.net/forum. Tumblr, I'm on Tumblr, like, a lot. Like, no one told me that it was gonna take over my life, and, I'm kind of scared. But, anyway, I'm on there a lot. Find me. And I'm on Twitter on occasion. So, you can try me there, too. That's it for me. One more video to go today. And I will see you then.